Okay, good. So we're live on, I think this is YouTube and Facebook. In just 1 second, we'll be live on Instagram. So welcome. I'm excited. There you go. I just clicked it on there. Okay, good. So welcome, Wendy. We're excited. We're going to have a little live conversation. I put the title and the topic as, first of all, Wendy's just in the first week of the FAST40 program. So I want to ask her about her results and how she's doing. And of course, bring up whatever's on your mind. You can bring up there too. And then she's got a platform called Goals2Life that we want to talk about how she's integrating and using it to achieve her results. So you're on the hormone reset program, and it's the first week, day 7. Tell me, what's the results? How are you doing?
Okay. Well, first off, yes, I've lost 4 pounds, and that's exciting based on the fact that for the last 6 months to a year, it's been really hard to lose weight, easy to gain, which is crazy. It's as we all know, it's so much easier to gain weight than it is to lose. And when you're at a certain, I would say, season of life and or going through certain things, it just seems sometimes impossible. No matter what used to work, doesn't work anymore. And so you're looking at like, why can't I lose weight? And for me, I had to get this under control for longevity. I needed to understand what was going on. I wanted to do the right thing. And so, yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to see that we're taking steps each day to lower the weight. And so even if it's a smaller amount one day, it's something. It's going down. So the weight is going down. So thank you, Cody.
Yes, you're welcome. So 4 pounds in 1 week. So let me give you the average weight loss in across the board for weight loss programs in America is a 0.5 pound per week. The average weight loss in America is a 0.5 pound per week. You've lost 4 in 1 week. Pretty powerful. Yeah. So what happens is people start, I want to make sure you have perspective, first of all. And that's 4 pounds of fat. You'll notice you haven't lost any muscle. When you lose muscle, you feel like crap. So when people do Ozempic and the injections, they feel terrible. I can tell you from having consultations with many, many patients, they feel terrible. And so how do you feel, by the way, in the first week?
I was just telling my husband this morning when I was getting ready, I feel so good when it comes to like clarity, my brain, just everything about me. I feel more energetic. I also feel like my sleep is improved so much more. It's incredible sleep. So just so you know, obviously you got to, you should track your sleep. Sleep is a component that Dr. Cody teaches, and sleep is a priority for me. Self-care and sleep is so much of where I know I need to be on the daily. Yep. In the past, it was more like checking off, grinding, working out, getting up at 5 in the morning or working out at 5 in the morning, trying to work out 5-6 days a week and neglecting my sleep and not prioritizing my sleep. And I realized that there was a huge problem there. But I have been tracking with my Oura Ring and then putting it into Goals2Life to kind of see the progress that it's making. And even prior to this program, I was having a hard time getting the deep and REM sleep that I needed. And I'm getting my crowns again. So if anyone has an Oura Ring, they know what a crown means. It's like, woo! So yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's beautiful. And we're going to talk about Goals2Life here too. And I want to say that's an important piece. So just FYI, just so people are listening, Wendy has lost 4 pounds of fat in 1 week and is not working out heavily at all. Okay. And so what's huge, just to understand this. So when your hormones are identifying sugar as a fuel source, the first thing you said, Wendy, is it's hard to lose weight at a certain age. If you're a sugar burner, that's true. And most people are sugar burners because of the level of stress that we're under. And the stress alone can actually switch it over. But usually it's stress in combination with sugars and wines and those kind of things. Who hasn't done that? So when you're a fat burner, fat is our best fuel source. Wendy, literally, you have a higher IQ when you burn fat. And sleep is one of the number one things I see changing with people. Sleep is like the major anti-aging. People spend billions of dollars trying to be youthful. Just get some good freaking sleep. That's the big thing. So that's awesome. So awesome to hear that. So I want to know with Goals2Life, tell everyone how are you integrating FAST40 with Goals2Life?
Well, with Cody, he gives a ton of resources. with Goals to Life, which is an online system to help you live a life of well-being, it helps you create pathways. And so I fell in love with Cody's program, but I'm a systems girl. And so I'm like, I'm going to integrate his entire program into Goals to Life under the physical component. And we chose the goal of I want to lose 15 pounds. 15 to 20, let's just say. But I did say 20, but I'm cool with 15. And so in that's my measurement is a metric of pounds. And so when we do that, we say, what are we going to do? And in Goals to Life, I took Cody's resources, which he has tons of resources, whether it be PDF manuals on recipes to like recommendations to understanding the why. Dr. Cody teaches a lot on why you need to do this. And I think when you understand the why, and then he tells you how. So inside our program, I know that he wants me sleeping X amount of time. He wants me drinking this amount of water. He wants me walking 30 minutes a day. That's it, low impact. And then he wants me following 4 ounces of lean protein, vegetables, and fruit 2 times a day, along with eliminating any carbohydrates, sugars, all that. So what I was able to do was put those components into Goals to Life as the strategies of what does he want me to do. And in that, I broke it down. So I have been daily, like time blocking my time. I have on my calendar to do my weigh-in with him in the morning, to track my sleep. All of that is done through my system in Goals to Life. And what I love is when it tells me exactly the strategy of how am I going to improve my nutrition. I have this is what he wants me to do. This is where I go to get more information. I can go to his courses. I can go and listen to him. I can watch his podcast. Then it will tell me exactly, okay, how am I going to do that? And why am I going to do that? And it reminds me, and I go back to, okay, why is he telling me to do this again? Because maybe I don't understand. I'm learning exactly a whole new science that's going to change things to help me sustain this change and this shift, because it is different and it is more preparation, but it's worth it when you understand the why. And then I'm able to track. So I did. And the big thing about Goals to Life is Cody's big on accountability, and we have accountability partners. So I know that we check in every day, which is a complete gift. Not a lot of programs allow you to check in every day. And but I do have him looking at my reports and my progress, because I want him to be proud that I'm following everything, not just checking in with my weight, that I am following his program to a T, and I'm tracking and measuring, because I want to say, is what I'm doing actually bringing the progress that we're looking for? And that's what Goals to Life does.
Yeah, very cool. So I'm going to simplify it. So for people is, how do they enter this stuff? Like, did they use it on an app? Do they use it on a computer? Like, how do they use it?
Well, how they would use it is a web app that can be added to home screen, and really exciting, come March, will be on the App Store. So it's Goals2Life.com. And you would be able to access it through there. Now, if you become a client of Cody's, there are ways that the resources can be used, and we can integrate with the systems he has. But what I like is that it pours into your whole life. It's a life goal plan. So this is a component that Cody's bringing us, a life of well-being, not just in the physical exterior, but what's happening inside our body and also mentally. So it's a component that we could look at our whole self. And yes, they could access Goals to Life on our website. And Cody, if they link in with you and they have more interest in it, you and I could give them a special code to get them 30-day trial to Goals to Life.
Yes, I love that. That really good. I was just tracking, looking at all the stuff that you've got to enter inside your Goals to Life. So that's a fantastic idea. If someone's watching this and they're like, hey, I want to interested in the weight loss program, or if you're interested in Goals of Life, what's what website? Is it goals2life.com?
Yeah, goals with a 2. We're bringing your goals to life. So, and my goal is this, and Cody has the physical component, and actually hits the mental too. So, because I need to be sharper, I need to have better focus. A big season to launch Goals to Life to the world, and so Cody's really helping me show up as a leader and walking the walk. And I'm just so excited to have Dr. Cody on my path, and I'm excited to bring forth all his knowledge and all his resources into Goals to Life.
That's very cool. And, just so people understand, of course, I've worked with thousands of patients over the years. And I also taught, psychology and metaphysics trainings on the weekends. And so I've got a lot of experience with people. One of the things is, of course, when you look at your unconscious mind, the subconscious, there are two ways they say to change your thoughts in your mind. And one of them is repetition, and the other one is emotion. And so it's interesting because anything you repeat long enough, bad or good, becomes part of the wiring of the brain. And anything you put enough emotion on becomes the wiring of the brain. And so I think that's what's really cool about what you're doing is to be able to have a system that can actually create repetition over a period of time, because it's so easy. I know the statistics are 80% or more of people set a goal and in January especially and end up not getting there. And that's probably one of the reasons you even created this. Over the years, I've spent over $15,000 on trainings of how to organize my day. And I created my own thing, probably just like you did initially. And so many people are trying to figure out, how do I plan my day? How do I even, not just to plan, but how do I even follow up with it? How do I even track my goals? So just so if someone's watching this, know that Wendy's put her blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. And let's also just say, Wendy, why did you create this? Because what's your background? Like, you've been a successful business owner. Like, what made you create this?
I created Goals2Life to help people trade fatigue and that burnout, that fatigue for fulfillment and overwhelm for outcome by bringing their goals to life. And it's in all areas of their life. I want to make sure people live a life of wholeness and they don't look back with regret. I want to make sure that they take care of the things that matter in life. We sometimes just singularly focus in one area. You just get so obsessed with like your professional or your career goals, or, hey, I got to be ripped. I'm going to be super fit and I'm going to go to the gym every day. And that's all that matters. And then mentally you're a hot mess, or internally your body's breaking down. It's like looking at your life as a whole and making sure that you're not neglecting your family. You're not neglecting your finances, that you're actually looking at it as a whole. So we look back and we could actually see ourselves growing in each area and seeing progress, even if it's small, like baby steps, right?
Yeah, look at what happens like in the FAST40. You're down 4 pounds in 1 week, and what's funny is people that you're seeing yourself going through this real time. But I'll have people that'll lose weight. One day they don't lose weight, and they go, oh, "How come I didn't lose weight?" And the funny thing is, like, we have unrealistic expectations. Most people think that when they go to accomplish something, it's going to be this like easy, smooth path, building a great relationship, building a great body, building a great business. It's this, right? But when you look at it, you're either going like this up and down, right, or this up and down. So I look at the trend, and so we have people pay attention to each day only. Matter of fact, we had to add up how much you even lost because we're only paying attention to the day.
You're like, yeah, do that. I don't know. I'm focusing on what I did one day at a time.
Exactly. And that's important because the reason I do that is I'll watch people, they'll go a week or two and I'm like, man, I'm having great loss. And then one day they don't lose. And instead of looking at what they did the day before, they go, how come I didn't lose? And they go, well, stop and go, okay, what happened? Now, in this program, I want to ask you, Wendy, have you been hungry? You're on a weight loss program. Are you starving yourself?
Not starving myself. I actually am not craving the sugar. I was able to like get rid of all that. There was one afternoon I felt hungry. I'll be honest. I want to be honest with you, but I'm not. But I want to mention something. Don't have me forget about the crab that we talked about, the sushi.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, but Wendy, the reason I'm asking that is because many people don't speak up and say this. I want you to send me a message when you're hungry, because guess what I'm going to tell you when you're hungry?
Eat some free veggies.
Eat 1 ounce more of all three categories.
Oh, okay.
I want to really, the free veggies, I want you to stay away from. They give you no calories. Okay. Free veggies give you the illusion that I can eat more. I want you to eat more actual calories. And so, interesting enough, normal hunger, Wendy, is an hour to an hour and a half before you eat. That's normal. Okay. And again, when you wake up in the morning, we're bypassing eating breakfast. So you might be a little hungry. Your body would dig into fast storages. But if you get hungry 2 hours after your meal, it means you need more food. But how do you figure that out? You got to understand that let's say one day you're really stressed about your business. You will literally need to have more food. Or one day you go for a longer walk, you have more food. So you're going to get to find out, which is why I have you not exercising, is I want you to figure out how much food you need without exercising. So if a day goes when you're hungry in between, you go, oop, I actually need to add an ounce to my dinner. And if you have the same energetic output as that day, the next day, then you'll figure that out. So most people, most women will kind of go, you know what? I need about 6 ounces or whatever it is, 4 ounces for everyone's different. I have women who are up to 10 ounces before they truly start losing weight. And they've been starving themselves for a long time. So one of the things I like to rewire is hunger is not your enemy. Calories are not the enemy. For how many years have we been suppressing your appetite? Appetite is your God-given mechanism to tell you your gas tank is getting empty and you need more food.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That is,
Yeah.
see, I learned something. There's so much to learn. No, that's great to know, because I was going to message you and I'm like, oh, Wendy. And I think I had like 5 ounces of protein, but then I didn't balance it out with veggies later. The same amount, I kept 4.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. 5 ounces, meats, veggies, and fruits across the board. Raise it all at the same time. That's it. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to raise it all. Okay. Yeah.
All
And I
three.
know that the struggle is like getting all the veggies in. It's so easy to have the fruit, right?
Yeah.
But getting the veggies in and learning, the different ways to cook these veggies in an air fryer, which,
Yes.
it's actually, I like the way they taste. They're crunchy. So that's good.
They're so much better. And there's so my little daughter is 6, and we will only eat air fried broccoli. You do it at 315 for about 6 minutes. It's like, oh my God, it's crispy, delicious. I can't even eat steamed broccoli anymore. It's like it feels it's like soggy and like so. And then I've learned seasonings. I'm not a cook, but many of the patients in the Fast 40 are really good at cooking. So seasonings are so key. There's all kinds of truffle salts and all kinds of stuff you can have that is just so good.
Okay.
So
that's something I messaged you this morning. I don't know if you had seen it yet, but I had made some Brussels sprouts and put the truffle salt, and I'm like, is that okay? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It tasted great. Really great. All right. So you guys, I wanted to mention something because Goals to Life is so big on learning like what's working well and not, and tracking progress. And Cody does this through his WhatsApp every day, but we go a little bit deeper into our program so we could actually see what we've done, what's bringing results, what's not. And so I love that we learn, and Cody's coaches or his accountability is around, well, okay, we learned that. Now, next time we're not going to do that. So I had a dinner planned with a girlfriend of mine I hadn't seen for 6 months. I wasn't going to cancel it. I started to choose this program before I had these dinner plans. So I just said, let's go to sushi. So I'm thinking, okay, we'll get sashimi. All is good. And there was this one like flower blossom sashimi. We can have crab on this program. And so I'm like, okay, it's got crab. There's got no avocado in there. It's got no rice. Of course, I asked her to eat the salmon pieces because it has got more oils and it's fattier.
Right.
But what I didn't do is there was a lump of that like crab underneath, you guys know. And I wasn't thinking, I was just so excited to be with her and I was thinking I was doing the right thing, but there was a lot of them, right? And I had eaten that crab. Well, the next morning, my results were not as high. And in that, we learned, Cody's like, I'm taking pictures. We're trying to figure out what happened. And it was, I believe, what the mix was of that crab. It wasn't just crab, like fresh crab. So yeah. Anyways, I love learning and adjusting,
Did you find what was in the crab, the mix?
I have to call the restaurant, but I clearly know it has something in it. The next day I saved one little leftover because it's wrapped in cucumber too, this other one we got. And I literally had it in there and I'm like, okay, I'll just eat those 2 little pieces and the cucumber. I'm like, I'm not going to dare myself eat that crab mix. Yeah.
Yes. And if someone's listening to this and hearing what she just said is when you are on this program, you are literally, we're pointing your brain. We have a supplement that points your brain towards fat. And if any sugar or fat goes in your mouth, it immediately goes, oh, I don't need to burn it off my body. And so a lot of sauces I found have sugars or fats or oils in them. And you go, well, if you understand the principles behind what we're doing is if you put fat in your mouth, it just doesn't burn it off your body. So we have a little less weight loss. And so no problem, Wendy, because we didn't screw up your hormones or anything like that because you didn't put sugar in. But that's okay. It's how we learn, right? It's like, oh, to me, I love this part of it because I have people who've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars on nutritionists and dietitians, and they literally get a cookie cutter thing for these dietitians. And I can tell you that everyone is different. No one is exactly the same. And that's why you cannot really just do a cookie cutter weight loss program. It doesn't work. The foods affect you different than anyone else. So I'm so proud to hear about that learning. It's awesome.
And then I love just readjusting and understanding. I think looking at the menus before, it has been a little tricky. My son's birthday is this weekend, so we're going to dinner. And I, of course, looking at like grilled fish and steamed veggies? Is it on the menu? And just finding the right kind of things to have and make sure that you're prepping them to make sure that they're not sneaking anything in there. So that's going to be interesting. I did have a question, of course. I know I brought this to you, but if you could tell me again, we are more of a dark chicken in our family. And so I know that you'd mentioned white meat, more lean meats, right? Explain to the group and myself about the dark meat. And even if you pulled the skin off, would it still be a problem if you pulled the skin off?
Okay. Yeah. Great question. Love this question. Love this question. Why are you guys dark meat people?
It's more flavorful, and it's more flavorful and more.
Why is it more flavorful?
Why? Because there's fat in there? Don't tell my husband. He says fat equals flavor. Okay. All right.
Fat is flavor. Exactly. Fat makes things taste good. So that's why. That's simply. So there's fat in there. That's it. And we've seen this over time. Remember, we are not avoiding fat. But the reason we have people lose so much weight in 40 days is we are not putting it in your mouth. Your body has no reason to burn it off you if you eat it. And so that's why we'll see anywhere from a half pound, even up to a pound or 0.3, 0.4 a day. And remember, I probably should bring out that little model of fat that I have in the videos.
I love it. Bring it out. I wish you had it. It's the coolest thing.
All
right, he's going to bring this really cool image right there. It's super motivating. I should just have this as my screen.
Exactly. So here is literally a pound of fat. My hands are pretty big hands, but here's a pound of fat. Look at my face. This is a pound of fat.
That is a pound of fat. That is disgusting.
So when you lost 0.3, here's half a pound, 0.3. Look at how much 0.3 pounds of fat is a lot of fat. So when you're like, oh, I didn't lose very much, 0.3 pounds of fat, that is a ton, right? So yeah, that's truly why. And fat tastes good, but what happens is over time you'll get used to eating the lean meats, and once you're down to your healthy fat percentages, you need fat. But fat is supposed to be sparingly for us. We put in way too many fats and sugars in our systems, and so what does your body do with excess fat and sugar? It loads it on you because it loves you, and it says, well, we're in surplus. Let's just pile it on.
Right. So I have a question. All right, obviously, and I don't know if you've talked about it. I'm sure you have, about your special drops. But I wanted to mention, because my husband is a cook in the family, and this is something that's my goal, not his, but he definitely wouldn't mind shedding off some pounds. Will he see the impact of turning from a sugar burner to a fat burner without the drops?
Good question. Really good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. This is what I love to have people do. If you go and eat lean meats, veggies, and fruits for 40 days, and you'll notice, just like you, Wendy, I get people who are like, hey, I'm eating right, I'm exercising, nothing's happening. We got to reset your hormones. So I've had many husbands or wives or spouses do this without the drops, right, and reset their body. But if you've been a sugar burner for more than a few years, very, very hard for the body to change over. And this is also why 80 to 90% of weight loss programs, people gain the weight back because there's no hormonal change. So if you're not a sugar burner, right, if you're burning fat, that works fantastic. But this is why diets typically don't work. You temporarily change your body and then it goes right back to burning sugar. So the answer would be, let's see what happens in 40 days with his weight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's lost more. Of course, a man always loses more. He hasn't fully followed it. He's helped me cook. He's already lost 6 pounds in a week. So yeah. Yes.
Men's, our physiology is very different than women. So yeah. And of course you're not going to compare to him, but that's why I focused on with women. It's kind of, to lose weight as a man, it's very easy, but women were the more challenging ones. That's why I focus so much with women to help them. We now it's no problem at all for us to get women to lose weight. We got this whole process down here.
No, I love it. And hey, I love that your process is all in Goals to Life too. It really makes it so much easier. I was so excited. There's a lot of people that I know in the community that Cody and I have connections with who have been asking me how this program's been going with Dr. Cody. And I was able to show them kind of how I'm using it through Goals to Life. And it's just really impactful to look at it in a whole view. It's been exciting to see both of our products working hand in hand to actually bring results.
I love it. Well, and it's so good. And so I know we're coming right in time. I know we have a hard stop. Let's do this again, Wendy. Let's check. Maybe we check in. Why don't we check in once a week and just see how you're doing?
This would be amazing. I would love it. I think it's going to be really great to be on this journey and see what the transformation is. It's
okay.
Exciting.
Awesome. Thanks for being on. We'll see you again.
All right. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. See you
Bye.
later.
Thanks, Cody.